And then, Vince, I want to come to you because I think you probably have some insights too, just based on your background, some of your world travels, and maybe how it is culturally different.
Yeah, in the Asian culture, especially Japanese, there's so much shame and guilt. It's I think similarly you can see a trend based on the trials and tribulations each of us as an ethnic minority coming into a new culture. And part of that, of course, is the traditional value of you're sacrificing so much for future generations. So growing up, I had some amazing grandparents who really instilled that level of resiliency based on all the stuff they had to go through. And then, as you said, growing up in Asia too, seeing what the challenges were for a lot of the male figures too, vulnerability wasn't talked about. You don't do that. And it wasn't really until I would say I was introduced into a lot of the various different types of leadership programs in college where it's okay, you should talk about that, and finding those support groups is really 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 key, because you just can't sometimes do it yourself. Again, that feeling like you're supposed to be doing something, that weight on your shoulders, that expectation, not just from a cultural perspective but from a gender as well. So for me, as I've evolved too, I would follow a similar statement that Mr. Black has said as well. Is, if you don't seek it, it's really hard to do. If you don't allow yourself to prioritize self-care, and thankfully, I've surrounded myself with a lot of really amazing folks who, like Erica, practice this either in a professional case too, and getting past that whole idea that I have guilt for taking time for myself. And we talked about this last time as well, but I think a lot of us are givers, and because we're givers, we feel like we just have to continue giving and giving. And then the question comes down to, you're going to reach a point where, as we've heard before, burnout is real. And unless you can really schedule, and that's what I do in terms of, as Erica mentioned, setting boundaries. You got to just say, like, putting it onto the calendar and going to the gym and saying, okay, it's just like another meeting. I'm going to go do this. So whether it's setting a therapy appointment with your ongoing provider, which, as we know through COVID, wow, that was really a challenge towards our entire mental health community, where people were feeling this level of fear and feeling this level of unrestness of, like, I should be doing this or I can't be involved. And I really believe the silver lining on COVID and other things like that is that ability for us to pause, reflect, identify, hey, I'm getting triggered. And that's the other thing too that I've been learning as a muscle is when you can pause and say, okay, I don't know why, but I'm being triggered, and I'm okay with it.